AI is everywhere, but most of it wasn't built for us. Welcome back to Vibe Coding Show, the first African coding challenge. This is where 4 teams of Kenyan developers turn real problems into code in 4 hours. Alright coders, today's challenge is simple. You have 4 hours to build an AI-powered feature that solves a real Kenyan problem. Think Boda safety, power blackouts, M-Pesa frauds, something that matters here in Kenya. That's fair game. Then the twist is you're not supposed to build chatbots. Don't build chatbots. Build an AI that does something. Either detects, summarizes, predicts, automates, anything that helps people in Kenya. You have 30 minutes to brainstorm and the clock starts now.
The name is Aricha Samson. We are part of Team 1, and here's my partner. I think he will introduce himself.
Okay, my name is Navasabat. I have a background in IT, but currently doing data engineer and now more focused in AI.
So after the 30 minutes of brainstorming, we mainly focused on agriculture and SMEs, small and medium enterprises, but it's an idea that can obviously grow into other sectors. But our idea is basically in the increasing efficiency and reducing loss.
Hi, my name is Jane Matoka, and I am a data scientist, and so happy to be here.
I'm Izzy. I'm a software developer, and I'm also happy to be here. We realized there is some sort of bias and a lot of manual stuff that is going on in terms of checking help worthiness, and sometimes even applicants don't get feedback, which can be very frustrating. You can imagine you're waiting for months or even days and weeks and you're not getting any feedback. So we decided to build a system that is supposed to help reviewers check whether this specific applicant is worthy of help, which band, the reason why the model has placed them in a specific band, etc.
My name is Neema and I'm a vibe coder. Okay, hi. My name is Frida. I'm a full stack developer. The system will help users to detect scam messages. So, what the users will need to do after a message has been sent, we'll go to the site, test the message, then the system will detect. We'll go through the message, then detect, and then give a feedback to the user, whether it's a fake message or a scam message.
Okay, I'm Jeff Wakalama. I'm a software developer from SolTech Solution.
I'm Abuti Martin, a software developer from SolTech Solution. Okay, we have this solution that is a local transport and navigation assistant that in Nairobi CBD that is here to help those new visitors or students or maybe the rural folks who are new in town and they don't know where to start or what to do, and they are afraid of asking the strangers because they fear of maybe getting scammed, something like that.
Hi, my name is Manasseh Adina. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Boda Digital. It's basically a digital marketing agency, but we also do a lot of sales, tech solutions, just trying to grow businesses in Kenya.
My name is Shanice Iliankabo. I'm a creative technologist and still a software engineer, whereby I blend tech into other specific industries to develop software solutions.
I think what I'd say is, having interacted with most of them, I know they know their stuff in terms of tech, but particularly I'm interested in understanding from the end consumer.
So brainstorming time is over, ideas are locked in, time to code. Yeah, so time to make AI do something useful for Kenyans. Yeah, let's go, let's build.
Okay, for the tools, we started by ideating using OpenAI, that's GPT-5. We know OpenAI are very good in brainstorming. Then after brainstorming, we wrote a PDR, that's a project document requirements, in Markdown file. Then had the Markdown file in Lovable as our first tool. It didn't give us quite a good product. Later on, we decided to do Droid. It took a lot of time, then ended up with WindSurf. And inside WindSurf, we used CloudSonnet 4.5, and it's magic. Like in 10 minutes, 20 minutes, at least we had a blueprint, and so far so good. We are building from that blueprint we got, and let's see. That's what we get at the end.
So far, we have built a classification model using that uses applicants' data to predict whether that student is eligible for a HELB loan. Once it does the prediction, the reviewer is able to see the score and also an explanation of why a student got that specific score.
So far we've done some simple design of our project. We've done the backend, frontend, and some styling. Okay, for the tools, we have used HTML, CSS, and Bootstrap for front-end part. Then for the backend, we used PHP, and then we've also used API. For the server, we have used XAMPP, Apache, and PHP runtime.
So right now we have really done a milestone, and we are doing a web app for that solution. And the web app we are doing using the React and Vite, that is Node.js, for simplicity and quick MVP.
I'm actually looking out for 4 things. Just to list them, the first one is the idea novel or is it already existing? What gap is it solving in the market? Then how easy is it to implement the idea? And lastly, how prepared is the team towards pushing the idea to the market?
Summarizing it all up, I believe I want to see how market ready their product is, because they have all the brains, they've done all the work, but all I want to see is it market ready? Will it be approved by the market tomorrow when we put it out there? So that's just it.
Time's up, you've brainstormed, built, and debugged your way through 4 hours of coding. Now it's time to show Kenyans what you've built and what you've built for them. So let's see the level of confidence. Who believes Kenyans will vibe to the idea? No takers? That's what's up. So the first team will present, team 1. Yeah.
So this is team 1. As you've obviously noticed, we are a bit tensed, so I think mnafaa kuacha kuwa serious kidogo ndio hata si tutulie. Judges. So I want to give you a bit of a brief of who we are solving our solution for. So imagine let's go to Makueni a bit and imagine Mama Nduku. She's a tomato farmer. Her 1 acre is there in Makueni, and last season she lost about like 40% of her tomato produce. So the reason why she lost her produce is because 1, she was late in harvesting, and 2, the rains came a bit too early, and this caused her to be a bit late in taking her produce to the market. So how about we reduce this Mama Nduku's loss from 40% to about 10%? So that is Agribiz insight, and I'll let my partner continue.
Meanwhile, you can show them. Okay, for that story of Mama Nduku, the only thing she's lacking is information. So Agribiz insight bridges the information gap and make sure she has the information. So if Mama Nduku can save at least 15%, it will be a huge impact for this when you count how many farmers we have. So we say farmers cannot predict weather, but with Agribiz they can predict their outcome and save more. And then for the numbers, since you're using AI, I should mention the positive impact and also the negative, because it's important to know. For positive, we'll be looking at saving, since from the data, in Kenya we are losing 30% of the crop outputs by farmers, and with Agribiz insight, we will ensure to at least save 10 to 15%, which will be a huge money in terms of the farmers. And then number 2, profit for the farmers. Then for the negative side is, since we are using AI with no data is not very meaningful. So if a farmer will not be honest with the input he or she is giving to the system, they will have bad prediction. And another negative stuff is when a farmer overly depends on AI and despises the local, like the previous way he or she used to get information. So over dependence of AI will be a mess, and again, wrong data. So that's it. And this our site.
So we are going to go through the site a bit.
The AI comes at this part. I think you're not connected in with Wi-Fi, but as we continue, connect to Navas. We also have a voice agent. He or she can call and communicate with either English and Kiswahili, and it works. Because of time, that's it. Thank you.
Wait a minute for us to connect to the internet, and then we show how the AI works. So this is her farm. Let's generate some insight on what she's been doing currently. So Mama Nduku can get a few insights on her farm right here, and also she can get some recommendations and some key observations. And we also have voice in case she's just more comfortable with voice.
So my question would be, looking at that farmer who's in Makueni in your system, how do you bridge the gap where Mama, you mentioned, yes, Mama Nduku can actually use this system, given the fact that farmers in remote areas are not digital literate?
So basically we were prototyping this, but in the final version we'll have an app first that is simple to use, and that's why we have the voice agent. the voice agent can literally input data for you as you talk to it. So for that, and we can also include offline fast capabilities with an app.
So last question, have you considered the fact that in remote areas such as Makueni, Western, not most farmers have access to smartphones?
Okay, I can answer the first and the second question. You've said about farmers not having access to, you say smartphones?
Smartphones and digital literacy.
Yeah, but from the latest data, I think in Kenya now we are having around 70 to 80% penetration of smartphone in rural. You can go to Mama Mboga selling maybe njugu and you pay with M-Pesa and you see her in TikTok enjoying videos. So we are seeing some improvements, but it's also a disadvantage because many of the old farmers aren't connected to internet. That's a disadvantage, but the young farmers, I think they're up to par with what's happening.
Sure.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What's the second question I have answered?
Yeah, all good.
Thanks.
We are Team 2, and we've created a solution to help the help organization to make sure that they allocate the loans to students who are eligible. So the current solution that they use is a MTI score, which is manual. It takes a lot of time to make, for the human reviewers, it takes them a lot of time to finish judging whoever will get the help loans. So with our AI prediction, we have created a model that is able to get details of students, their personal details, academic details, and also their financial details to be able to correctly predict student eligibility to get the loans. So I'll welcome Easy to take us through the portal.
So hey guys, so our system is supposed to check to determine whether someone is worthy of receiving the help disbursement and how much each of them is supposed to be receiving depending on their needs. So we'll start, I'll take you through the process. In the navbar part, we have 3 options. They're only for display so that you can understand how the process works. The portal is not supposed to be here, but this is what we know the portal looks like. You input your details, and then after you've input your details, your name, your academic details, your family and background, and then there are documents that are also submitted. For now, we have not added the document submission section because we do not have access to things like KRA to ascertain whether the birth certificate is correct, whether their KRA PIN is correct, etc, etc. So for now, we're just working with data that is the text data that is provided by the student. So you apply, and then after applying, there's the dashboard. Now this is the view that is supposed to be seen from the reviewer's side. The reviewer, the person, their staff members for help. So when you check down here, you can see the applicant's name, the university, the course they are taking, and their score. This score is determined by their need. And then the band they've been placed in. There's band 1, band 2, band 3, and band 5. So what the reviewer does, they check for example, if someone is ineligible, they check whether, if someone is ineligible, the reviewer can just check whether this is, they can check what the model used to determine whether this person is ineligible or not, i.e. the score breakdown over here. They get priority if they're a first-time applicant. For example, first years usually get help faster than continuing students. And then the household income is very low, according to what the model gave us. And then they're from a rural area. Definitely, we expect someone from Mashinani who are more prioritized than someone who is in an urban area because they have more opportunities. They can get other scholarships, etc. And then you have strong KCSE performance. So this person is ineligible. If this reviewer feels like these reasons are not, they're not strong enough, he or she can request an edit. When they request an edit, they fill in this form, and then this form is sent to the admin. Now, this admin is now the overall admin. This is one person who checks the requests that are made. So if, for example, there's an applicant is in Jerry and reviewer 1 reviewed their application and say that this person is not supposed to be in band 4, they're supposed to be in band 1. So the admin now from this end can review and accept or reject the edit that the reviewer has suggested. Now, what does this prevent? This prevents things like corruption, because if the application is passing through 2 people in the help community, that means chances of corruption zitakuwa very low. You won't find situations where someone is supposed to get the money and then they're not getting it, or then someone has been marked as ineligible by the model and they're actually supposed to be given money. So that is it.
So what problem are you solving?
Right now, the current system that is there, first of all, it's very slow. Before someone gets feedback, it takes ages. And then at times, you don't even receive feedback. For example, Jane here, when she was in campus, she tried applying and she didn't even get it and she didn't get any feedback. So what does that show us? There is no transparency in the system. And then another thing, there are people who are getting this money and they don't really deserve it. You hear people saying, and the notion in the community right now, Nieti, help ni pesa ya sherehe. And why is that? Because people who don't really deserve it are the ones getting it. Sa hizo kuna mtu mwenye genuinely they don't have school fees, genuinely they don't have rent, and they're not getting the money.
So as you all know, we all use M-Pesa, and most of us, or maybe people we know, are fallen victims to fraud. Okay, to scammers. So we came up with something that can detect messages or tests that may come from these scammers. Yeah. Okay, so as she has said, our system is all about detecting scammers. So what you do, you'll just, okay, if you see a message that is suspicious, you'll just have to paste it through the system. Then after pasting it, the system will detect. Then it will give you a response whether it is a safe message or it is a spam or a scam message. So I think I can showcase the system. So you are supposed to input the sender of the message, if it is M-Pesa or you got the message from a number. For example, if you input a number here, then you detect whether it is a spam. It will give you a notification. For example, this one, the sender is a number, then the message pattern is from M-Pesa. So you'll be given a response likely a scam. I think I'm done.
Hi. So I have two questions. First question is, how different is your system from what M-Pesa and Safaricom currently have, where you forward that message to the number 333? Because that's already an existing system. So what value are you adding on top of that? Second question is, what's the practicality of this entire system in someone's day-to-day life? For example, I see a text that has come into my phone. I can see at the top there is a number, whether it's Safaricom or Airtel, and then enters that message, for example, an M-Pesa message, and then a phone call follows. And from my basic understanding, I know M-Pesa will never send me a text from someone's phone number. That's the first thing. So then how does your system, where does your system come in to give me value?
So the system is not basically for M-Pesa only. It is solving other problems. For example, you can get a message like, okay, change of rent payment, something like that. Okay, yeah.
What do you mean change of rent payment?
Okay, I can send you a message. I'm a scammer. I sent you a message telling you that the rent payment has changed. I need you to send the rent to this number, something like that. You know, some people do not have that knowledge. It is not everyone who has that knowledge to know that this is a scammer. So if they suspect the message, they'll just put the message here, then the AI will detect and tell them this is a scam. Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Okay, so hello guys. With us here we have a brilliant system that is going to help most of the newcomers in the Nairobi CBD area, especially the visitors, the students, maybe the rural folks, those who don't know the town, but they have to go somewhere. So this is called a Nairobi CBD Travel Assistant. And this system, we just launched this one because most of us have been suffering out here, but now they can be helped even with Google Maps. So this one came to the rescue. So the system, what it does, it takes your location where you are, then you input the destination. When you input the destination, it will look into the system. It finds the nearest stage or matatu bus where you wanna go. So from there, it will locate the nearest stations that maybe go to your destination, and then the next thing it will do, it will check the approximate price that you're gonna spend depending on the jam, actually the weather and the time, because prices vary a lot here in CBD depending on the time and those factors. And that's the next thing it does. Then it will suggest you the best option. Then from there you'll have the smooth ride to your matatu stage. Then you take your bus to wherever you are going. And whenever you get stuck, it will also now give you the direction to maybe now the extra Google map now to continue the research, because you cannot go somewhere that you don't know. For example, I'm Afya Center. I want to go to Westland. I don't even know the stage, but when the system suggests the stage, now I can even find the stage on the Google map. Even if our system cannot provide the fine details, the Google Maps can do it now further from that point. And without much explanation, we'll just walk you through it and you'll see the magic.
Yes. As you can see, the system is very simple, since the users of the system will be around the CBD, and you see around there, the theft can happen at any time. You never know. So the system is just very simple. It just pick your current location and you just key in your destination where you're going. And there is the current location. We since we are not at the CBD currently, we use the dummy data currently. Let's say if we are in Afya Center or any place which is around in CBD. So let's say we are in Akaiza, that's the current location. Then let's say you want to go to Eastleigh or Kasarani, then you just find the best route. It will analyze and it will give you the stage, the nearest stage, which iko na hizo mat za kwenda Kasarani. Yeah, and that's all. Also, you can show the walking direction. Plus, also, if maybe umepotea bado with the application, you can shift and go to Google Map. Yenye itakuwa imekupatia the actual stage yenye unafaa kwenda actually. Yeah, that's the point. Plus, yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Hi guys. So the travel niche has a lot of players right now. We have Uber, Bolt, Faras, all those guys. So what's your plan to actually penetrate that market and gain consumer trust? Because this is entirely new. No one knows that it exists. So what's your plan to penetrate the market?
Okay, so first of all, Ubers and this Bolt and the other related, they're expensive. Traveling from CBD to Westlands, it's like 500, and depending on the even the time and whatever circumstances. Someone who's coming from the rural areas or anybody new here, maybe some of them, they are not new to the how pricing or something goes to Nairobi CBD. So those who can manage to pay for Uber, they will do so. But for those who can't, they'll just have to use the application. Of course, something new in the market is not noticeable unless marketing is done. Then people realize it is there and it can help. But meanwhile, it's just here to help anybody who cannot use Uber but still and can't even use Google Map, because Google Map will not tell you that you have a stage here and here because you don't even know the names. Now this is where comes into the rescue. You can afford a ride, but if you can't, now this will help you.
First of all, I like the concept. It's simple. I can use it myself because I don't know town at all, but I won't use it for stages and stuff. I'll just use it so that I don't get lost. But I like the concept, but the thing is, who are gonna use it? Yes, I know those are people who are lost, but who has time to go online and check where am I lost from? So
Okay.
just ask around.
I can assure you, when you get lost, you will find whatever means to get the single direction.
Bro, town has loads of people. I just ask, I want to go to Ruaka. Nenda wapi? Where will I go? Okay, it's practical, but when the urban sector has modified to a specific level. But right now, yes, I'll sell the idea. Yes, it's a good idea. Yes, I'd want to play around with it so that I know different places and different stages. But practically, I'm lost. Then I'm here looking at this specific map, bro. I'll just call an Uber.
The Boda rider, I can tell you maybe it's a 400 to get there. And when you bought the boda atakuzungusha tu huko River Road, sio wapi huko, then akutoe na huko nyuma akuletea Face Center. Yeah. So it saves money. Also, most of people, me, I'm sure, when they get to Nairobi, they want to go to Eldoret. They don't know these stages.
So it's not.
Instead of asking, you just come and.
So it covers the whole of Kenya, not Nairobi only.
Yeah, but for now we've targeted the Nairobi. CBD because someone can't lost your Machakos. It's most for this.
Man, me I'd use it in Eldoret than Nairobi.
Yes?
I'd use it in Eldoret than Nairobi.
It's for the cities mostly. But
so, I believe you have a great idea, but it's for the wrong people.
Okay, to add on.
Wait, I believe, let me repeat what I said. I believe you have a good idea, it's a good concept, it's so user-friendly, but not for the right audience.
All right, thank you for the feedback, but I want to assure you that the moment you realize that Uber is very much expensive than using this application, you no longer use Uber. And the moment you realize how to use the application, the problem is how to use it, but the moment you get familiar and you realize it will be much cheaper and save time than using Uber, you'll opt for it.
All right, judges have deliberated and they have the results now. Someone told me that when people argue with you, they actually care about what you're doing or what you are telling them, right? So take the arguments and questions as feedback from people who actually love and want to see you succeed. Yeah, so let's give the spotlight to judges to give us the results. Yeah.
So we'll get right into it. I'll give the comments and feedback and thoughts that we had for each solution, and then from there, my fellow judge will give the ranks for each project. So I'll start with the team that presented the agribusiness solution, and we all agree that the product was market viable, given the fact that Kenya and Africa in large is an agricultural kind of region. So their product was well thought out, and the team had mastery of their concept. They understood what they were doing, and they also managed to implement some great features on AI. A bit of feedback that we give, or rather constructive criticism, is you need to think about how you intend to push your product into the market. I understand that there are players such as Waneka Fund, and you'd mentioned Apple Agribusiness as well, but you need to consider or think about whether you're going to compete with them or collaborate with them. I'll move to the team that presented the Nairobi CBD travel assistant. Their solution was very, very innovative, well thought out, kind of novel, if I may say. And their system was very functional because we actually saw it in play. And they also managed to include some great features of tech and AI. And the feedback that we would give to you is you'd need to think about how you intend to trigger your consumers to actually implement the system. And if you remember, one of the feedback that the judges gave was consider having a screen in the middle of the streets that someone from outside Nairobi can come and interact with it, given the fact that they don't have access to maybe a smartphone or they're coming from a remote area. So majorly for it's just how do you activate your product for consumption by the public. And the next team presented the help solution. And for that team, it was a very great problem identification. You had an eye for identifying where there is a problem. The feedback that we'd give you is refine your solution delivery. So there are a lot of loopholes, questions, and ambiguity that still exist within your solution. And one of the places where you can start from is how do you deliver a more credible method of actually ensuring that the applicants who deserve the help actually get it. And one of the places where you can start from is triggering a serious background check. I applied for help and I never got any background check. So that's where you can start from. Then the last team was a M-Pesa fraud detection team. And for this team, we felt like there wasn't that much of a value addition on the existing systems in play. And if you can remember, we mentioned that Safaricom, they themselves have a system that is fully functional that serves that purpose. So unless you introduce an added value to your system, then it becomes kind of obsolete. Then what you might need to also point your direction towards is the M-Pesa app has a lot of financial modules or financial mini apps inside it. Now, the best thing that you can do is try and figure out how to improve the security of the consumer's data and finances when they're using those inbuilt or modules within the Safaricom app. That could be a very nice place for you to start from. And then lastly, consider effective effective method that you could use to train your model on the fraud detection, because you need to come up with a database and then also figure out how you're going to train your AI models. But just using XAMPP or normal patterns on normal fraudulent activities wouldn't cut it. There are so many decisive ways that people use to trick guys into taking their money. So that's what you need to pay attention to. So with that, I'll just invite Shanice to actually give out the ranks, and then we call it a competition.
So depending on what he has said, we can give the first one. We give the first position to Agri. Why? Because they've shown us the business perspective of their software. And in everything that you build, you just want to know how and where the users are getting the profits, and you yourselves, you're getting benefits from, like where you're monetizing it. So we're giving the first position to the agribusiness software, because they gave us the whole perspective of the application. So, and how they are going to like market it and how valuable it will be to the general public. Then the second one is CBD. The second position, we're going to give it to CBD. It's a very, very good idea, very practical, but it has a lot of loopholes depending on the people who are going to consume it. So we're just going to give them because it's practical and it can be market ready, but the time frames, whether it's an urban planning module whereby we're going to adapt to it maybe in the next 5 years or so. But yeah, it's something that is really, really good, and it's a problem-solving software. The third position we're going to give it to Help. They are practically problem-solving, but it has a lot of loopholes, as we said. So yeah, the third position, they tried, but they need to do more background checks and more research, depending on how they want to problem solve it and how they want to perfect it. And the fourth one, the fourth position, we're going to give it to M-Pesa, because they didn't really thought through that specific system they were building. Maybe they were practically solving their own problems, but they didn't consider other factors that came in through that. So yeah, we're going to give them the fourth position, but the idea is still good. They just need to be more practical in how they're trying to implement the problem they're solving. Thank you.
So yeah, that's a wrap for episode 2. In the comments, tell us which idea you vibe with, the most. So don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Everything you need to do if you liked the video. Keep winning.